Shabba D.
The whole thing with Skibble was just deep. Me and him and went back 27 years. We toured all over the world together. I'd just flip off and he would just say some mad shit. And I just be like, Storm, calm down, this is not grime, it's drum and bass. There's people that's inspired me on my journey along the way. Like people like Dizzy.
Shabba D, I'm a jawbreaker. On this thing I get more paper. Watch the way I get raw later. Sticky numbers and more data. More life, more labour. Pure style, no flavour. Execute that demonstrator. Microphone, elevator. Look now, tell you later. Foot down, accelerator. Murderation, exterminator. Drum and bass, terminator. Lyrical patent decorator. Weed smoker, meditator. Party time, celebrator. Accurate estimator, yeah.
Shabba D.
So how have you managed to still stay relevant and evolve with the scene from jungle to now to drum and bass?
Good question. I think me personally, I stay relevant because I watch people for the right reasons. Do you get what I mean? And that's a thing that I need to make a statement on, because like people say, don't watch people. Yeah, don't watch them for the wrong reasons, but you can watch them for the right reasons. You get what I'm saying to you? So there was people within my scene that I grew up around, even my upbringing and things like that, that learnt me to always revolve, to get me, and not be the same. Do you get what I'm saying? And not be the same as these guys here, because they say, like, I look at a man that is like, my younger brother said it to me the other day. He's younger than me, you know what I mean? He's 26, do you know what I mean? And he said to me that he watched people when he was growing up, and he's doing really well for himself. And he was like, one of the things that kept me kept me doing good was watching people that he didn't want to be like. Do you know what I mean? And I looked at it as like, that's a bit harsh, but it's not. It's reality. Do you get what I'm saying? You watch people and say, I love my man or whatever. He's cool, but I don't want to be like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So I said, with me and the MCs, that's how it was, because a lot of guys weren't really revolving. They're just doing the same stuff. So I just always kind of just wanted to do different things, and the future. Because when I was coming through, no one gave me that. No one said to me, here, there's a stage, there's a mic. I kind of had to earn that for myself. So I growing up, like, I've always brought people on and put people on, and it's always about the future. Because, you know, like for me, like when I was coming through, like I said, no one gave me that, like, so I just thought, you know what, if I can help people as I go along, that would definitely benefit me as an artist, and not even that, like, give me longevity, because I'm always like, you see these young guys coming through, they're very hungry, you know what I mean? Like when I was around Stormin and that, Stormin was one of the main guys for it, because he's so hungry, man. He was on it, and like he was come to my yard every day, he would be on writing, he'd kick me up my arse, you know what I mean? As you get older, you get a little bit lazy or whatever, so I think that things like that, just bringing the youths and having that energy around me.
Yo, man, like Shabba D.
What's happening? Harry Shotter in the building, cuz.
Old type Jawzy TV, we're on the road right now.
I say Harry, you say Shotter. Harry Shotter, Harry. When are you rolling with Martin? Good time I know these answers. For life, there's dramas, everybody looking for answers. Thinking that's the much drama, and I'm the godfather. You see me with my mother, taking the garden. Don't run them, can't talk to me about brothers. I'm not in them up like mothers. You don't think that they're the martyrs, coming them up like S-A. How we turn it out? Turn it out.
Jungle and drum and bass. Has lyricism changed as the years have gone on, do you feel?
In general or in our scene?
In your scene. Do you feel like you've had to change your style of writing?
Yeah, many a times. You just shape up with it, but like that's the blessing of being versatile as well, because I'm a versatile MC. I can chat ragga ting, I can chat the fast ting, I can chat the slow ting, I can even do a little bit of rapping, do you know what I mean? Whatever you want, and a bit of hosting and a bit of chanting and sing-alongs. That's, for me, sing-alongs is the one, because when you get a sing-along in a rave, you know that if everyone's singing along with your lyric, then everyone knows your shit.
It's about to get a what? Remember we are number one.
Do you know what I mean? There might be a couple of people that ain't, but if you get that, or whatever it is, the higher, or nice one, bro. You know what I mean? Everyone's into what you're doing. Do you get what I'm saying? You might just, a couple man might not sing it because they might not know it, but you got to break them through. Do you know what I mean? And for me, like crowd chants and yeah, it's easy to get a chant. I say this, you say that, but come on, bro. Like when you're chatting a lyric and man's chatting it word for word, or I did a rave the other day, like literally just Saturday just gone in a jungle rave, and I don't chat them lyrics anymore. And trust me, I love it because that's my time, and you know that time there was a special time in my life. Do you get what I'm saying? And you know, coming through, and there's a lot of ravers out there that want to hold on to that. And when I went into this rave and I did a classic Shabba set, like word for word, every lyric, the lyrics I don't even chat anymore. They was chatting them. Do you know what I mean? Singing them, and it was like wow, like it's like a breath of fresh air for me because you know I've got that as well, and I've got that not to fall back on, but I can do that, and I love it. Do you get what I'm saying? There's people that want to learn about that, so it's the root of it. Like I look at it as like in this game here, I'm a root. I'm not a branch. I'm not a twig. You can't snap man off. You get me? You put a little bit of water on man, and man will grow, and that's how it is. Do you get what I'm saying? It always regenerate from highly blessed to high level, from MC convention to sticky. From sticky now to off the hook to SAS, from SAS to SAS. Do you get me? So it's like always generating, man. Always just trying to change and do things like it's all been done before. You get me? So let's do something new, or let's make a stamp at least and put the MCs on the map. Do you get what I'm saying?
Bringing it about, what's up, bringing it about, what's up, bringing it about, what's up, bringing it about. Bring it about, two, start bringing it about, what's up, bringing it about, what's up, bringing it about. All of the gang start bringing it about, what's up, bringing it about, bringing it about. Those are two, start bringing it about. Give them something to sing about. Pull up a boat, start bringing it out. When the sea starts swimming about, I can see them and in the place, I can't really see no women about. Man, just stop bringing it about, bringing it about, bringing it about. Put your hand up in the air. Me and my crew, now bringing it about.
It's Swifter, like Martin, powerful like an Aston Martin, but you're doing my nature, party, I will take you out, I'm not knocking. Swifter, not Martin, but I'm seeing them storming, pop on back and I'm not from Martin, what's going on, what's happening, darling. Swifter, not Brian, in the jungle, like a lion, no Gruner, I'm an iron, I'm hurt.
Yo, I said I can live in the dark, I can live in the light, so I can live in the game, like 5 more power, with the bomb, and the blow, with the bomb, and the blow, with the bomb, and the bomb. See the fucking the wood, in the good night, in the good home, in the middle of the square, but I can live in the time of the day, in the week, when they call eagles, spray rope. Yeah, can live in the dark, I can live in the light, so fuck off. Listen, hold on. Listen, somebody say, nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
That's what I'm talking about, my Selecki. Yo, R.I.P. Skibbity.
What's the most requested Shabba lyric?
The most requested Shabba
When
lyric.
you're out to the ravers and you're talking, was it like, oh, that's my favourite lyric? What's the one that you usually hear?
Oh man, I put it up. Sometimes I put statuses up, and I get a lot. People just sometimes they just ask me to chat bars, and then they ask me to chat sing-alongs, and it's like a DJ of a tune, I suppose. You get me? Play this tune. Do you get what I'm saying? So probably like in the jungle, it'd probably be like something like Born and Me Grow. Born and me grow in a London, born and me live in a Clapton. You get me? Like everywhere I go, I get a response from that lyric. And even the weekend I chatted the London one, everyone went fucking crazy. Do you know what I mean? So it's like in that jungle era, I get that. And then people ask for the higher level, they ask for the River Monster, the We Love Drum and Bass. There's so many. Do you get me? So I do that, and I like to keep it fresh all the time. And I'm always working on new shit. Do you know what I mean? So. And then nice about music, and you know, people are trying to push this thing out like I'm not an artist. I was making music before many MCs out there doing vocal drum and bass way early. Do you know what I mean? I'm an artist as well, do you get me? And like I will show the people in it. It's not about me trying to prove a point, it's about me just saying, all right, cool. I'll just keep quiet. You watch the music that comes out, because it's music. I played your tune just then, you know what I mean? My tunes that are coming out now, it's not gonna be just man MCing over tracks, do you know what I mean? Or trying to freestyle on a track and do this. It's actually real music. I've got singers, I've got people that know about music, you know what I mean? I did the music thing. I went on tour when I was 21 with a punk rock band, massive in Japan. Learned the whole music, done rehearsals every day for 6 months. Like, I know this game, do you know what I mean? But it's like the energy and the time that I've put into the MCing obviously has built a career out of it. Now I can put some more time into my music. And that's what will live the legacy on, do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, like it's exciting times for me because I'm always generating, and now I'm generating again with my music. And you ain't even seen the best of Shabba solo. Right?
Nice one, brother. Nice one, brother. Nice one, nice one. Woo! Nice one, brother. Nice one, nice one, nice one, brother. Let me see your hands. Hands up high. Wave it all day. Wave it all day. Wave it all day. Oh shit, oh damn, oh lord. I go. I won't stop until that I ain't. Why? This is the drum and bass army. Give me a ticket to the damn after party. I say Shabba, you say Dapper. Shabba, Shabba. I say Reno, you say fuck off. Reno, fuck off. They're the vibes we love, man.
When you get a jungle booking, how do you remember your old lyrics? You have to go back to a tape pack, or are they just all stored?
Yeah, they're stored. I've got like many of them stored, but then I have a little listen every now and again. And I've just moved house, like this from my new yard, so now I've just been living out of boxes for the last 5 months. All my shit, my studios, has been packed away because we was in temp accommodation. Now we've moved and we're settling in our house, and yeah, I'm setting up my studio, and I go through my books. I've got books and books, and my point being saying all that, like I had all my things in boxes, so when I was going through them, I found all my books, and then like, yeah, I go through my books every now and again, but like mostly, like I try and work on 2 hour sets, even though I said to you I don't do 2 hours, but as long as I've got 2 hours of set, I'm ready for anything. Put on drum and bass, put on this, put on that, and it's wicked to it's a good feeling to have. It's like a DJ when he's got bare selection. He's got new bangers, he's got old ones, he's got classic ones. Your record box is fat. You're going into a rave and you're nicing up the rave, so that's what I do, and I kind of just work on that, and there's always little things I add in. I listen to mixtapes. Must have done about 20 mixtapes, do you know what I mean? I listen to them, and then I put on SoundCloud, and I listen to one I did 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and I'll be like, oh, look at that, brr. And I'll just be like, yeah, make a little note of it, try and learn that one there, bring that one in the set, and that's how it goes, you get me? You got your classics, but yeah, there's always room for improvement. Don't get it twisted.
The last time I come to Carnival, I come with Skipper. We come on the train. That's what we always used to do. We used to link up vibes, 2 drinks and catch a vibe, yeah? And although he's not here in the physical, he's still here in the spiritual. So everyone put your hands in the air for our friend, your friend, our brother, Shabba D! That's what it's about today, man. Get your hands in there. Man, like Clever, that's his brother right there. That's Skipper's brother. Make some noise for Clever, man. Original thing. When we say Carnival, deal with the matter, deal with it proper, deal with the matter. And when I play we say we love drum and bass. We love drum and bass. Say we love drum and bass. We love Joe. Ready for them, ready for them, be there, be there. Ready for them, 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 be there, be there. Ready for them, ready for them. You know, R.I.P. to the Shabba D. R.I.P. Stormy MC. Life in the place. Everybody is a love of the place. Pussy fly like a open fire. Sing it up. Pick it up, skip up with some music on you. Let me tell you like a phone. Like a sector. Let me see you at the door, real raver. Let me see your hands. Hands up high. Raving all day. Right with some drums on the set. DJ man to see you gonna rinse it out, yeah. Hey, let me see your hands. Hands up higher. I say more.
Let's come to a bit more current time now. How has the lockdown and the pandemic affected you?
Wow, the lockdown was a big change, man. It affected everybody. Like, you know, and the music scene was very depressing. Do you know what I mean? A lot of my music colleagues and everyone was just finding it really hard. And you know, we used to going out touring and making money and doing all these things, and certain things you used to buy in and you can't buy it again. You can't make money to do this and do that, and it was a hard time for us, but it was a wake-up call at the same time, and it was a big transition in my life, because before the pandemic, before all this happened, before COVID, like I could feel something, like I was changing, you get me? I met a beautiful lady, do you know what I mean? And like, do you know what I mean? We both was on a level like where we kind of was making changes in life and going through it together, do you know what I mean? So we did that, and I moved in with her in lockdown, and do you know what I mean? The rest is history. Now we live together, we've got a house together, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it was a big transition for me. I think what helped me a lot was going fishing, because I love fishing, and fishing is so relaxing, and the music industry was so stressed, but because I got a connection with my fishing, excuse me, like I made some moves and I started up my business, rods, reels and bass, and that's something I can do forever. Do you know what I mean? Because fishing is not going nowhere. It's $1 billion industry. I've got big links in that game, so we've got some big things to come with that. But in lockdown, I was doing events, I was putting on things, and that was helping my mind as well, more than anything. Yeah, I was making a little change here and there, but it was like, it was more for my mental state, and it kept me calm. Every time I spoke to people in the music, they was depressed. Do you know what I mean? Some of them was even suicidal. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, I found it hard. Like, I had to shut off from it, but still I had to keep active. So I set up my studio, did things that I knew that I wouldn't probably never have done without the lockdown and the pandemic. Do you know what I mean? I went and bought some studio equipment, I set it up. Do you know what I mean? I started taking my own vocals, doing my own adverts, and it was a good thing because that's something I can always do now. Do you get me? It's like when you learn how to drive, you can always drive. Do you get me? So I learned that, and I did the fishing thing, and then I started doing stream bookings. A lot of stream bookings, like all these bookings were just coming on streams, and I was getting paid good money for streams. So I was just like, you know what? I'll do that. Do you know what I mean? And then kind of just went into the digital era. As you know, everything changed a little bit, but it benefited me, and come out the other side, and I was like ready for it. You know what I mean? And even now, like, there's loads of little things that I still need to do and pick up from, but like I said, I've been moving house and I've done loads of things in between, so it's all time consuming, but yeah, I mean, I've got good energies around me and good vibes moving forward, you know what I mean?
Still a little bit wet.
It's a bit choppy now, isn't it?
Love says the day, yeah man.
What happened to the bottle?
Unfortunately, I tried to be like really sort of responsible and put my Ciroc bottle in my bag and put it in the back of the car rather than drink it. And when I've done that, it's fallen out the bag, smashed everywhere. So we've got the remains of it right here.
There, look.
That's the remains. So I'm gonna drink that and then fuck up the set.
South, who's having a good time? Get your hands in the air. Hands in the air. Somebody sing with me. S-A-S, S-A-S, S-A, S-A, S-A.
About 2022, it's been some amazing things have happened. Obviously, some massive impact things have happened. Let's talk about the death of Skibber and how it affected you and what a big part you played in your life and in your career.
Yeah, I think with Skibber, like it was like I said it a few times, it was like getting hit by a bus. Do you know what I mean? When I was in a restaurant with my family and my daughter and my mum and that. I come out and I got the call. Do you know what I mean? It was like almost a shaking when I got that call. Do you know what I mean? Because a couple of things happened previous to that where he collapsed on stage and he didn't even know he had diabetes. It was so sad. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it's our brother, innit? We just like miss him deeply, and the whole industry misses him. There's a big gap in the industry what he left. Do you know what I mean? We're still trying to fill it. Probably never be filled. Do you know what I mean? For what he did. So I mean, the whole thing with Skibber was just deep. Me and him and went back 27 years. We toured all over the world together. He's probably like the only guy I can say in the scene that was like a brother to me. Like, do you know what I mean? Even though we weren't 100% like tight, personal out of the raves. Like he did his own thing and I did my own thing. But every time we spoke to each other, it was like it was with each other yesterday. Do you get what I mean? Because it probably was. Do you know what I mean? Or last week or whatever. So it was just a good vibes. Never fell out with the guy. Do you know what I mean? It was really sad, man. We're still trying to pick up the pieces now. We're still trying to move forward, do you know what I mean, and do all that thing there. Like, it's took me a few months to get my head around it, not even over it, because I ain't over it. I don't think no one will be. But yeah, I mean, we gave him a good send-off, do you know what I mean, which was very sad, and then to see all the ravers come support him, and even that thing they did, his memorial rave, and that was Ram, and it was just like a concert, man. It would have just been like smiling down on that. We talk about him a lot, I mention him a lot in raves, I always carry his name like I said I would. And some people will just forget about him, do you get what I mean? But then there's people that can't, do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of fans out there that are still trying to come to terms with it. So even Storming as well, man, like I missed that guy badly, but I think with Storming it was more like we knew he was gonna go, innit? Like we kind of knew that there was nothing he could do and all that, and he was trying to fight it. Where Skibbs, it was just sudden, do you know what I mean? So it was a bit of a different impact, but both of them, I missed them dearly. I missed my nan as well. I lost my nana around the same time as Storming, so it was a hard time for me, you know what I mean? Even the Skibbs thing now, like my missus loved him, and we just all, you know what I mean? He was just an easy get on with guy, do you know what I mean? And he had bare love in his heart, so it is a sad thing, and we'll just carry his legacy, especially for me. I'll carry his legacy forever, man, as long as I'm doing this.
Skibber come back from America. Shabba D's come back to the Caribbean. All the honors and reason on base. It's worldwide, please. Somebody say boom! Big shots are up. I need to start back in the water. We are ready to roll inside. We ain't got time to fuck around, Reggie. What's wrong? I'll tell you to start with us. If I just start up here inside. Bigger than I can. That's in the hype and need to know that. Silence in this for power. You're going to tell us inside the place. Here we go.
We will touch upon the SAS thing, but you know, now Stormin and Skibber are both gone. How does it feel when you're like going to a show and it's just you, Fantasy and Shot? Does it feel like there's a whole?
Yeah, there is a whole. Because obviously, like it's a whole thing, but we've still got a brand, and there's people that love us. Do you know what I mean? And we put that energy in. We make up for the energy, and we're adding some things to the group to make it more exciting. Some new MCs are coming in, and then we're bringing out some past guests. So we're doing the past, present, and future. And people are buying onto that, and to be fair, the proof is in the pudding, and everywhere we go, like the vibes are electric, even if not even more, man. Just since he's gone, because people just, you know, they loved him so much, do you know what I mean? And that's the only thing that he was intact with us, do you know what I mean? So it was like he did his skibbity thing, but SAS, he was wearing clothes every day, do you know what I mean? It was part of the furniture, so we carry that with us, and the legacy of Stormin and Skibber. Do you know what I mean? And that's what will make our thing great forever, because like we have wrote history and we've changed history and we're still changing it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that's a blessing in its own words.
Yes, we say my G, yeah. Big up Jawzy TV, big up Shabba D, Shabba D in the place, Foundation, big up everybody. And yeah.
Who's finishing higher, Chelsea or Arsenal?
Boy, do you know what? I mean, you know, really the heart says Chelsea, but with the brain, I can't see. I have to see if we finish with spending. At the moment, I'd say them with how we spend.
No, you got. We're way behind. Do you know what I mean? We're still got a couple more signings to get back. it's definitely a more confident Arsenal this season.
Yeah. No, definitely. You lot made
Missed
some
out
good
on the
signings.
Champions League, but you know what? We're in the Europa at least.
He's built 2 teams in it, one for Europa, one for the Prem. That's what he's doing.
We always have the football banter on the road.
Yeah. No, but I don't have it too much of him. It's alright, it's them other Arsenal lot, man.
Was Skibber your favourite MC to go back to back with?
Yeah, kinda, yeah, because there was no one really like, we could just do it for hours, innit? And it was just like natural. We weren't trying to, we would always try and like slyly outdo each other, do you know what I mean? Because it's like friendly competition, but no one ever says that, do you get what I mean? But he was a one away. And I think the combination is just like, you know what I mean? It's like bread and butter, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Did you write together or was it a lot of it spontaneous on stage?
Yeah, we did write a lot when we was on the roads together, and we always come up with ideas and we used to just roll off each other. Loads of times like I'll build things and he would just come off the back of it. And then I suppose in the last couple of years with SAS, a lot of writing sessions, a lot of studio sessions, you know what I mean, a lot of sharing ideas and all that, do you know what I mean? So I miss that, and I miss his conversations as well, and they just don't seem real, like certain times it just don't. Do you know what I mean?
How was Napa?
Bro, the voice is croaky.
Yeah, you see?
You know them ones.
Man, now about the Napa flu now.
Napa flu. Oh, that aircon and the ice, stay away from it.
Big up the Nas crew. Yes, Steve.
Yes, Nas.
My boy Fantasy. Come on.
Am I featuring in your documentary?
Yeah, man, come
Am I
on,
in his
man.
documentary?
When the camera's like this, you know it's a doc. When it's like that,
Alright, cool. Right, so listen, what we're going to do is we're going to cut to my interview. And then we'll do
So I mean that we're on the road and we're right, it's Sunday night, been here all weekend, some ravers, ready for the big one tonight. What time are we playing?
12 midnight.
12 midnight. And where
We've got some very special guests.
Is it South Bank? Come on, make sure you're there, Nas, check it out.
Yeah, so let's pay more tribute to Stormin as well. What impact did he have on you?
He had a massive impact, man. That Stormin, when he come around me, his uncle, I used to hang around with his uncle years ago, and he was young when around them times there, and he used to say, yeah, my little nephew, you know, he's coming through and he's doing his thing in grime. And so I met him a couple of times when he was a young man, like maybe 8, 9, and then he got big, and then next time I see him he was about 14, 15, and he was doing his thing. And he was like, I'm coming for, like, you know, it's my dream to MC with you and John and Bass and Jungle back then. So I was like, don't worry when you're ready. And then I got the call from Spanner, and then he did that nasty thing. And I was like, yeah, he's ready. And then we took him to Bar Rumba, and he MC'd, I think it was like Fun's birthday bash, and he just teared it up, man. And I was like, I need to roll with this guy. I need that energy around me. And no one was recognizing him in drum and bass, or he was just new to it, but I knew he loved it. So he come on the road with me for 2 years, him and Swifter, and people was doing all sorts of things to him, man. Like, what time are you on tonight, bruv? Knowing that he ain't on, taking the piss out of him, like, you know what I mean, all that shit. Then you know what he was like. He used to take things really personally. Do you know what I mean? Because he had the ADHD, he would just flip off and he would just say some mad shit. And I just was like, Storm, calm down, this is not grime, it's drum and bass. You get me? And then he'd just be like, yeah, he's like, these guys, I'm gonna watch that. And he'd just have that energy, and he'd go home and he'd write a lyric. He's like, listen to this, bro. And he'd just be on it. He'd come check me at 9 o'clock in the morning, bro. Pads, pens, big bag of weed, you get me? I miss all that shit. And then like, we had like a brother relationship, man. Like, I helped him out a lot. And he helped me as well. We used to talk every day on the phone. And yeah, man, I miss him deeply as well. Like, I don't talk about him enough, but you know what I mean, when I talk about it, it sort of touched my heart a little bit as well. I think, could have done things a little bit differently, but there's nothing you can do with situations like that. And he was just a good person, man. He had great energy, and I brought him around a lot of people that got to love him, where before they was kind of skeptical, but when they got to know him, they loved him. Do you know what I mean? So R.I.P. Stormin and R.I.P. Skibber, man. Can't forget those guys.
I'm awake again, back inside the rave again. Showing Kelly Slater out to ride a fucking wave again. Same again, all up in your face again. Unapologetically, you're bending, I don't play pretend. Think it's trying to back me up. I ain't here for making friends, bitches trying to jack me up. Darling, what's your name again? Tell away the handy up. Then we'll get it ready to get new journey. Westman shot up, way too heavy like. Oh my motherfucking days. Westman, you just smashed up the rave. Oh my days. Who's next to blow? My man up from Wales, and that is Endo. Can't forget the Shabba, sparring partner. It's a minute street thing, and then we get in darker. Sound of the shotter, the energizer. One of the wicked MCs, and that be wiser. Can't forget the inner, original dapper. And don't forget Shutter is a freestyle rapper. I can get my champagne and start sailing out. It's sound of the shotter, and you might get you like a day man. Onto the mouth, you know the way we do. It's just a yes, the number one crew. Ministry inside the menu. Ministry inside the menu. You money make your money rise. All we need to move on and try. So I get back to the way to lose weight. Don't be fucking with nothing. I'm not supposed to go find them and get to the end. Don't do the music back to the TV. You might get back to the game. You might get into shit. You might get slapped, lost, and quick, lost. You'll fail. You take them on the music. I'm taking out all of these things. You fucking think I want to test the money the best. Look at these things. I see flames on the race. I said I'm not playing no game. We got the race on the race. I don't give a fuck about race. What is stuff on these things? You know what I'm about race. You know what I'm about race. It's all the rest of these things. Yeah, I'm like I'm saying. I'm not doing like my mate. I think I'm the only one with me. I'm talking about my own thing. What they think about me. When I'm talking about the beat. It's just so hard. We can Shabba D. Listen to the sound of my lost insane. I think I am moving in the way. Come on, let's see we have a place inside. Come on, rise up, side by side. Come on, Shabba D, you know when it's time to take. I'm gonna try to rise inside the building. I'm gonna try to rise inside the building. I'm doing your turn. I'm giving it for some people who need it.
Shabba D.